So, I wonder what's in this box. So as you can see, this is the new Horus Heresy box, the Warhammer, the Horus Heresy, Age of Darkness. And as you can see, it is quite a big box. I'm just going to put it down because it is so big. Now I do apologise, I'm a little late with this unboxing. I have only just recovered from some sort of strange viral infection. My certain test results were negative, so it must have been something pretending to be a certain something else. But I am 90% better now, so we can continue with the hard work and Horus Heresy content. Now, if you're like me, you've been looking forward to the Horus Heresy 2 set for a long time, especially since we saw those leaked pictures many months ago. It must have been about this time last year, surely. I myself cannot wait to get stuck into the contents and build a new Heresy army. Anyway, that's enough waffle. Let's jump in and have a look inside this boxy. Okay, so the time has come to finally unbox the Warhammer, the Horus Heresy, Age of Darkness box set, which is a box so big I can barely fit it on my desk underneath the camera. So we're going to start off by getting this glary cellophane off. Okay, so here is the box, and I'm sure you're all very familiar with the front of the box, but have we all seen the other side? So on this side of the box we see some artwork with the Horus Heresy logos on, and I see that my box has taken one hell of a whack in the corner. It'll be interesting to see if that's done anything to the contents inside. On the opposite edge we have exactly the same piece of artwork. On the long edge it's exactly the same piece of artwork. And on the other edge, it's exactly the same piece of artwork, and I just can't fit it in the screen. And on the bottom we have this. See if we can remove this glare. So we have plenty of things to look at on the back of the box. We have that old picture which we saw leaked many moons ago. We have all the different miniatures in the box. The Praetor, some Mark 6 Marines, some Cataphractii, and another Praetor over here. We have a bit of gumph describing the background of the game. Some extra bits and bobs down here. Playtime approximately 1 to 3 hours per game. Ages 12 up. Glue is required, and tools are also required. Lots of gumph down here as well, and that is your contents list. Anyway, let's open this up. Okay, so the inside of the lid is a whole lot of nothing, just in case you wanted to know what was inside the lid. So first up we have some Whippy sticks, we have some templates, we have some sprues, and the first lot of sprues are the Cataphractii Terminator sprues, and so are these sprues. That's more Cataphractii, so that's your 10 Terminators. Next up we have a las cannon sprue for the Spartan, I assume, smaller than I anticipated. We have our Spartan hatch sprue. We have our Mark 6 accessory sprue. We have another one of those. We have another one of those. And we have another one of those. It's 4 of those. We have our first Praetor. And we have the second Praetor. We have a huge Spartan sprue. We have a Mark 6 sprues, and there's a bit missing off there, and it appears to be a leg, so let's hope that's in the bottom of the box somewhere. Another 2 of the Mark 6 sprues, and something else just fell off. I heard it drop. There it is, look. There's the leg. There. Oh dear. There is the runaway leg. We have another big Spartan sprue. We have, what's this? Oh, this is the Contemptor weapons sprue. We have the Contemptor body bits sprue. Another Mark 6 sprue. Another Mark 6 Space Marine sprue. Guess what? Another 2 Mark 6 Space Marine sprue. Sprues, I should say. A Spartan sprue. This is a nice chunky piece. And yet another Spartan sprue. And I'm happy to say that most things appear intact. However, look. An orange bit off the template sprues. We also have this lovely glossy piece of cardboard, which I think is to protect the book. And on the other side is all the pieces of art for other available kits. We have a rulebook in cellophane wrap. I've seen a couple of videos where people have opened these and the cover is on upside down, so we better open this just to make sure. We have a wonderful instruction booklet. And now we're into the digging section. 2 nice fingering holes here. This can go straight in the recycling. Aha! A 60mm base for our dreadnought. Everyone's favourite base. A bag of dice. I wonder if these are as good as my £1.30 My Home Casino dice. A bag of bases, along with another bag of bases. I assume there's 26 in each, I reckon. And a decal sheet for your Sons of Horus and Imperial Fists. And then we have the bottom of the box. But it doesn't end there. Oh, that was bright. Strange. Let's have a look at the inside sides. Oh, what was that? Ah, 2 more bits of, what's it called? What's the name of this? The old, templates sprue. Okay, so we have, on the side of the box, a picture of the Spartan, some Space Marines there, and half of a Contemptor Dread, as well as a massive box wound. On this other side, oh, we're very in the camera's face here. Can you focus? Yes, you can. We have the Dread again, another Terminator in Cataphractii armor, and then a Spartan. Or the side of a Spartan, I should say. That's the Imperial Fist Spartan. Will it continue on the other edge? Yes, it will. Look at that. Beautiful. I love the way they wrap around the box. So we have the Imperial Fist Spartan, some Imperial Fist Space Marines, and of course the Dreadnought on the end, who wraps around like so. Although it doesn't wrap around perfectly, does it? I never noticed this was like a glued on box cover. Every day's a school day, hey? Alrighty then. It's that sheet. Remember? The one when everyone says, "What's this dreadnought here? It's different to the one in the box." And I'm assuming that's going to be the standalone release Contemptor, which comes with 1 more sprue of weapons and optional plating. I do apologise for the glare. Anything else look a bit strange on here? Not really. Here's your normal Mark 6 tactical squad. I think we have all the bits in here. We have these miniatures from the Burning of Prospero, or was it Calth box? Nice to see these painted in a new style. I thought those grey parts were his feet there, but they are rocks on the base. Here we see a plasma gun squad using the special weapons upgrade squad on the Mark 6 tactical squad. Your Cataphractii terminators, which we know about, that dreadnought. And a 10-man Legion Tartaros Terminator squad. I completely forgot about Tartaros, and they were my favourite back in the day, but I'm starting to change my mind again and prefer Cataphractii, but hopefully one day we'll see the Saturnine terminators. Here's the Sakaran battle tank down here. We have a resin one knocking around here somewhere. Here's the Praetors. This is going to be great fun to build. I love this tank. And the Demos pattern rhino, which looks very small. I feel they could have made a bigger picture there of that. Someone zoomed out a little bit too much, I feel. It's definitely not in scale there. Yes, look at these Marines. In scale with the Demos. Looks almost like an epic one. And on the back of here, we have a black piece of... What's that there? Oh, I thought that was a coffee stain. But I can see it's now some sort of orrery of sorts that someone has drawn on there. We have these nice bits of damage where the sprues have been banging around in transit. Marvellous. Alright then, first up we have this wonderful Decal sheet featuring the Sons of Horus and Imperial Fists. I'll try and zoom in a bit on this for you. We have a little bit of glare. I do apologise for that. Can't really get rid of it. So this is the best I'm able to do. I do apologise. Now, for my poking and pointing out stick, I have this sculpting tool I'm going to use. So up here we have infantry iconography with the Eye of Horus. Lots of 16th Roman legionals, you know, those well-known things that are like numerals but aren't. No, these are Roman numerals. Is 16th the number of the Sons of Horus? I don't know. Lots of little details. My word, I have to get down. I can't read this from here. Yes, these are for the Mark 6 Marine shoulder pads. This here says Mark 6 Space Marine knee pads and greaves. So that's what this section, the decals, is for. And this tiny bit of writing says Cataphractii Terminator, shoulder pads and tilting shields for these pieces. These pieces here are, I assume, the Mark 6 Space Marine shoulder pads for the Imperial Fists, and I do apologise, my voice is probably going to go in and out because my microphone's up there and I'm standing over here. These ones here are the Mark 6 Space Marine knee pads and greaves for the Imperial Fists, and the bottom ones are the Cataphractii Terminator shoulder pads and tilting shields for the Imperial Fists. And over here we have such tiny writing. What's that there? Oh, these two are for the Praetors. This one here. Praetor and character greaves. We have something else here. More Praetors and character greaves here. These are for the Spartan here, these larger ones, and these ones are for the Contemptor dreadnought, which means that these are for the Spartan, and these are also for your Contemptor dreadnought. So I do like the way they've marked up what the decals are actually for. Please continue with this trend, please, Games Workshop. Thank you. So whilst doing the unboxing for this box, I noticed a very interesting thing in the picture in the middle of the back of the box. If you look at the scatter dice in the bottom right hand corner here, you will notice it says, if you're enjoying this video, then please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. That means you, Chris. If you are enjoying the content here on the channel, then please consider joining the Patreon, the link to which is in the description below or up here somewhere. Okay, so next on our list of things to have a look at is the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness construction booklet and introductory army list. We'll go through this nice and slowly. So the first page deals with the Praetor with power sword. The second page deals with the Praetor with power axe. And I'm always keeping an eye out for weird things in the instructions, such as the detachable base pieces. Interesting. Okay, we have the Mark 6 Tactical Squad up next, which teaches us how to build a Legio with Nuncio Vox, a Legionary with Vexilla, or Standard Legionary. Some different poses. Legionary Sergeant up here, pose 3, 4, and 5. And moving straight on already to the Cataphractii Terminator Squad. Here's how to build your Cataphractii Terminator Sergeant. Another Terminator Sergeant in an alternative pose. He's doing the stealth bomber pose. Lee, if you're out there, I need you to see the stealth bomber pose here. Next up, we have more Cataphractii. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And a piece of art at the end because they had a bit of space left to fill. There's your tilting shields, and then we move on to the Contemptor dreadnought, and straight away I see lots of little parts that need putting together first. And someone did complain to me that the head here is in 2 pieces, down the front, down the middle. We'll see just how much of a problem that is. If it's too much of a problem, we'll just swap the head. Just use the Mark II head off the vehicle upgrade sprue. Although I think everyone's going to want to use that head for everything. More bits, lots of little options here. How to build your inbuilt weapons for the fist. Always useful. And a little bit on posing. Quite a nice pose, actually, I think they've come up with. Better than the one they actually used in their promotional material, such as on the box. How to build your Spartan, where you're just building round things. Tiny little thing there, just on the side. Don't forget that part. Lots more of the Spartan, where you put your main hull together. I remember building the resin one, and it wasn't great fun, although it wasn't as bad as everyone says. And that's because mine had the built-in tracks. The earlier ones had the tracks separate. Apparently they were a nightmare. Here's how to build the weapons and the exhaust stacks. Wonder how easy it is to magnetize any of these things. It will require a much closer look later. Here's all your tracks separately. We'll probably paint those on the sprue and then stick them on afterwards. And there we see, so you could paint your main inside hull one colour and the outside separate, and then just glue them on at the end to make things a little easier. If you fancied a 2-tone paint job, which I think I do. Lots of different options for your weapons and gunner and pintle mounted weapons, etc. Here's that head you might want to use for your dreadnought. Lots of different upgrade weapons and searchlights, missile launchers, hunter killers, smoke launchers. There's the searchlight. Richard Gray did a wonderful conversion of this, where he's scratched off or cut off all the grill and made a nice smooth lens, and it looked absolutely fantastic. I thoroughly recommend having a look at that, and I might steal his idea. We'll put a link to it up here. Actually, it wasn't on the Spartan, was it? It was on his Praetors. Anyway, he did the same thing with this part of the sprue. Here's your insignia, which you could put on your doors to specify if you're a loyalist or traitor. We'll probably ignore those. And here we go into the rules section of the rulebook, of the instruction book rather. Note that all of the units included in this section have the Legions Astartes special rule. Full details on the additional rules granted for specific legions are not listed in this section and are not needed for basic play. These additional rules are detailed in the separately available army book, so I do like the way you could actually play the game with just the box set. If 2 of you had it, you could play sort of a chess with exacting armies opposite each other. Praetor with sword, Praetor with axe, Cataphractii Terminators, Contemptor Dreadnought, Tactical Squad, Land Raider Spartan, the Age of Darkness Armory here. Lots of rules for the individual weapons. And different upgrades here, I assume, on the back. And on the back, it tells us about that Decal sheet. We've just been through all this. We know what these are for. We don't need this squit. So here is the rulebook that comes with the Age of Darkness, and it is quite a thick and hefty tome, and it does have some shrink wrap on, so we'll take that off first. Get rid of that. So the first thing I've noticed is it comes with a few bits of gumph. The first one being a Pokemon Pokemon style collect them all book section for the Primarchs by Black Library, and some other adverts here for more Horus Heresy themed Black Library novels. Novels, I should say. We also have a couple of these fold out reference guides. I like that they give you two of these. Are they exactly the same? Yes, they are. And of course, we have the rulebook itself. I'm not going to spend too much time looking at this. We'll do it in its own separate video. But let's have a little look through and see what we can see. We have some blurb in here. Someone outside jangling their keys. You can see a large content section. And as you can see, it's on nice matte, thick paper. I do like this. It's not all glossy and horrible. Some background. The Age of the Emperor. Let's flick through this a bit faster, else we'll be here all day. Magos Reductor. Some Fellblades there. Talking about the Imperium. What else do we have in here? The Legions Astartes. There's that Leonardo style illustration. This apparently talks about the armour of Space Marines, Mark 6 being the best armour mark. And then it talks about the individual legions. I was going to call them chapters there. That would be wrong again. This artwork is quite nice, by the way, and it's giving us the Space Marine legions one by one. It'll be nice to come back and have a good look at this in a little while. Imperial Fists, Night Lords there, the best legion, Blood Angels. This does go on for a long time. World Eaters, Death Guard, Word Bearers, the worst legion, Raven Guard, and then we're on to other things. Custodes, Imperial Assassins, Ordo Sinister, Solar Auxilia. Don't see many of these today, and we do have a nice bookmark. Probably a piece of string cut out of my granny's underpants at some point. Sewn in to the book. A timeline. I never really enjoyed those timelines, I don't know why. And then we're on to the cool rules. So, to get to the rules, we have that much. Thinner fluff section and a thicker rules section. And these go on for quite a significant amount of time. Vehicles, terrain, Imperial... so we have... stats for fortifications here. Bunkers, walls, defense lines. Wonder if they're the old ones we remember from back in the day. More rules, template weapons. Gaming in the Age of Darkness. Quite a big section on gaming. Oh, the community. Tells us all about the community down here. We'll read that another day. And then we look at some... look to be... I do apologise, we're going backwards in the world. Staff armies, Mark Rayner's Sons of Horus, Mark Bedford's Iron Hands. I do apologise for this glare. Stephen May's Word Bearers, Mark Bedford again with his Salamanders. Rich Dancy's Night Lords. Mark Bedford's Raven Guard. Looks like Mark Bedford is getting a lot of screen time here. Paul Rudge's Death Guard. And Solar Auxilia. Not by anyone in particular. Modes of play. Fortifications. Warlord traits. Remember those. A battlefield showcase of a manufactorum. I would argue there's not enough scenery in the middle. It looks like they've stashed it around the edges. That's just my take on it. This one's better. The ruins. This is very nice. The Hive Warzone with paper mache walls. Blue Peter rung up and want their walls back for their Tracy Island. There's Mr. Tarvitz. Always happy to see you. Missions. What missions do we have? Blood Feud, Onslaught, Shatter Strike, Dominion, Tide of Carnage, War of Lies, and some Imperial Fists. And I'm sure we had that earlier. Psychic Disciplines. Nice to see Psychomancy. Nice to see the psychic phase has been removed. I remember an awful game where I had to play against a Thousand Suns player, and it's like he was playing top trumps with himself with all the cards. So nice to see that reined in a bit. Weapons and reactions, and here we have a large index section, and this thing again. These are the same pictures from that other sheet I remember. The worst posed Contemptor dreadnought ever. And then we have an advert for those books again, and a blank page. Always my favourite. And inside is the map. So, that was the new Horus Heresy box. What did you think of that? I think it's a really nice set, and considering the price, it's pretty good value too. It's not cheap, but it is good value. Did you pick this box set up? I myself have picked up a couple, along with some other odds and sods that we'll look at a later date. What do you think was the best new miniature in this box? I myself would probably say it's either the Mark 6 Marines, which I love, or maybe the Spartan, or maybe even the new dreadnought. My word, I think I like all of it. What's your next Horus Heresy related purchase going to be? For me, it's going to be the Praetors. So if you want to see some more exciting unboxing videos, and I know you do, then check out the playlist up here somewhere. As always, thank you very much for watching, and always remember to drill your barrels.